Everybody to our newest movie review, probably our most divided one yet, for Mission Impossible 7, aka Mission Impossible Dead Reckoning Part 1, aka uh, Dead Reckoning Tom Cruise running a lot. Let's go to the guys for their thoughts before I chime in on how much I may have liked this movie. What do you guys think of this latest installment in the Mission Impossible franchise?
Hey, Grim, are you running?
I'm running away from this movie.
Ooh. Well, in your short, when the two of you saw it on the different day from us, you said dumb fun. It was just dumb all around.
No. Johnny said dumb fun. I just said dumb.
It was dumb fun in the best way possible. That's what I was saying. In the best way.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely.
This was just.
I feel like you're criticizing it too harsh.
Yes.
The reason why is because what was so bad about it?
It was stupid.
What was stupid about it? I mean,
basically, it tried to take like action for the sake of action, and it just tried to go.
But it's a spy espionage.
I have such an argument for you, but keep going.
Yeah, no, please.
It's a spy espionage thriller. It's supposed to have action.
It should be smarter than that, though, because it is a spy movie. It's not all supposed to be explosions. I looked at Michael Bay, Fast and Furious movies for explosions and family, obviously. But with this,
that's all CGI explosions.
I expect a better way to infiltrate, to go get the data, to go get the thing or whatever. And this, I just feel like it just hit a wall. And it's like, nope, let's just keep on gunning that gas until we break through that wall. And people are going to love it because I'm running.
So you're going to tell me you love John Wick 4 or you love John Wick in general, but this is a problem for you. Everything that you're describing now
absolutely
is the same reasons why you would love John Wick 4.
Yes, because once again, here's the thing. John Wick 4, we know what it was. We know what that entire series is. It's Keanu Reeves gunning down people. Short, sweet, to the point, gives us what we want.
Okay.
Mission Impossible, it's supposed to be a spy movie. It actually has given us a lot of iconic infiltration and fight scenes. I'm not going to take that away at all. But this, I felt like it just was subpar. And it felt like we approach a problem. What's 2 + 2? The answer is clearly 4. No. It's 523 million. Like it just tries to go off the map in terms of trying to entertain us with action. And I felt a lot of times in the theater, I'm saying to myself, why are they trying to go all the way around this way? And just very much the meme of Futurama. All right, here we go. Like, here's how we need to get to the end. No. That's wrong. There you go. That's a route with some chest hair. And I'm like, why? There's nothing wrong with doing things the first way. But sure, okay, let's just go balls to the wall crazy and see what sticks.
I disagree because all the movies, every single one of these 6 prior films are the same thing. It's just every film pushes it a bit further and further to the point of how far can Tom Cruise go to make everything that he's doing believable? So I understand what you're saying in the sense where it's a bit over the top, but at the same time, though, you don't want to rehash the same things over and over again and have the crowd say, oh, this was just like the last movie. Forget it.
I'm not talking about rehashing things. I'm just saying make smarter decisions, both in filmmaking and in script.
This is the difference, though, between why I enjoyed this movie. And I enjoyed John Wick 4 too, and John Wick is a series. But like the difference is that John Wick takes itself 100% seriously, no matter how like stupid it gets. and that's always been my problem with it. At least this, like Mission Impossible, yes, it gets crazy, it gets like stupid, like out of this world sometimes with its stunts. But there is a certain level of like campiness to it where you can tell that there is some level of humor behind some of the scenes that they're doing. There are running gags. There are like kind of like small laughs you can have at certain moments of the film. I feel like in general with like Mission Impossible. So I feel like that level of kind of like that self-aware, yeah, we know how crazy this movie is, but we're going to give you one hell of a movie regardless. I can respect that, So like watching this movie, I'm like, this is just one hell of a movie. I'm on a roller coaster of a ride right now. It's fun. Yeah, there's some dumb scenes, but it doesn't really matter just because everything is like a spectacle right now. Maybe that's the reason why you don't like it specifically, because it's supposed to be more of a spy flick. I get that. But end of the day, it's you're going to the movie for entertainment. And this was a very entertaining movie that didn't really let up throughout the from beginning to end.
If I could speak on the humor for a moment, it was like perfectly placed to break up the tension and the drama. It wasn't overwhelming.
Yes.
But
the
that's
gag.
what it needs. That's what it should be. It should be just like you said. You don't want it to be overwhelming. You don't want it to be a Marvel film. You want it to be something different.
Yeah. Like the one scene.
Spoilers.
Like
pancakes are coming for you.
Without saying what it is, but one scene with Tom Cruise and Haley Atwell was I couldn't stop laughing because of the gag of what it was.
Yes, that scene in that one movie
with the
lead male actor and the female lead actor.
You have to give him credit. He's trying not to spoil it. So he's like, well, at that one scene where they were there, but then they did something.
The one scene you would know that's a comic relief. I thought they were excellent in the movie. But if I could speak to the overall,
you're talking about, because I didn't think any of it was funny.
All right, so give like one tiny detail. Was it like her debut scene in the airport?
No,
I'm not going to try to read Pancakes' mind. That's just going into a dark void I don't want to go into.
Italy.
Oh, yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So, okay, sure.
But if I could speak to the overall acting, I thought the acting, if we put in between all the nonstop action scene, was phenomenal. The scene, again, trying to avoid details here.
small detail. Just think of one key detail and just give us that.
The club scene. Like, I thought the acting from everybody in that particular scene was so good.
Oh yes, the John Wick scene.
Yeah,
I knew you were gonna say that.
As opposed to the other scene you just mentioned before, which was the Fast X scene. I'm gonna get into that. I want to get into that little notion of the movie in a little bit, but go
on. The main villain, which was supposed to be played by Nicholas Hoult, but he had to back out because of scheduling conflicts. But Essie Morales,
which sucks because Nicholas Hoult would have been great in.
Well, here's the thing, though.
Who was he supposed to be?
If he, if
Gabriel,
he was supposed to
wouldn't have had
Morales.
We would not have had Renfield if we
had
this. So you know what?
True.
Fair trade. I will take that in a minute.
Yeah, all for the better, for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting.
But, okay, so since you brought up Nicholas Hoult, right? He was supposed to play Gabriel, and instead Esai Morales. He ended up playing Gabriel. So what did we think of him as? He also played, what was it, Pancakes? Deathstroke where?
Deathstroke on Titans season 2. No, Titans.
Oh, Titans. Yeah, that's what it was.
Yeah. And he was phenomenal as the villain on that for that entire season of the show. So he was like so calculating, so cutting. And for him, it was personal between him and Ethan throughout the film, while part of a bigger mission that, while it was clunky at times, they still made it work and connect it. The other cast members that Clementif.
What about Palm? She was amazing.
Mantis.
Listen, I'm gonna clear up something right now, guys. Okay. The entire supporting cast was amazing.
Yes.
Every last one of them. They were
I
great.
think everyone, including Tom Cruise, was amazing.
Tom Cruise was Tom Cruise. He doesn't do it. It's every
He's
movie.
Ethan Hunt. What do you want him to do? That's what he does.
I want
him in every
him to
movie.
be a better actor. That's what
He's
I
not-
want.
Look, listen. He does every role fine. It's just he has no range other than Tom Cruise.
Oh no! So
doing something Tom Cruise-ish.
Show me the money.
it's funny that you mentioned that because
Exactly.
this entire time I'm thinking to myself, my God, this is what Christian Bale saw all those years ago and based his character on American Psycho with. The cold, dead, empty eyes of Tom Cruise. We finally saw it. Christian Bale, you were always right. We love you.
My one big criticism of the movie was how long it was. The ending could have definitely been shortened. Leading up to the big scene, which we see in the trailer with Tom Cruise doing the big jump on the motorcycle, definitely could have been shortened. I know they were weaving it in and out of scenes, but the ending could have gone more straight to the point. But overall, I stick by what I said in that short that Spade and I did, that this is truly one of the best films of the year. Sort of a blockbuster, spy thriller in every sense of those terms. Yes, it was wonky at time, maybe some pacing issues, definitely hokey, but the comedy, like I previously mentioned, was in the right places to break up the tension, but the action kept going and had me on the edge of my seat throughout the movie, leading up to the ending, which definitely could have been shortened. Yes, Grim.
So what you're saying right now is that this was better than Creed 3.
No, I'm not saying that.
No, he said summer blockbuster.
Mm-hmm. No, he said this was one of the best movies of the year.
It's
one of. He didn't say it's the. There's a difference.
You got to be precise, brother.
I have
Creed's
to think about that.
Creed's in the This is a whole separate video, but Creed's
All right, Johnny, speak.
Creed's in the conversation too.
Let the man speak, Pancakes.
Creed 3 definitely had a more compelling story, but I feel like as a whole, it was a simpler film than what we got with Mission
It's
Impossible.
a Rocky film. It's not supposed to be anything,
No, I'm saying not that it's supposed to be complex. I'm just saying that I felt like I got more of a movie experience from watching Mission Impossible: Dead Reckoning than I did from Creed 3. Not by a lot. I'm not saying by any means that Creed 3 wasn't good. That's not what I'm saying at all. I'm just saying if we're really going to compare the two in terms of like overall more entertainment and more of like, just movie, goer experience, I think Mission Impossible probably tops that.
I'm going to tell you right now, Creed 3 was supposed to be an emotional roller coaster, which it definitely put out.
Yeah. Yes.
Mission Impossible was supposed to be an adrenaline roller coaster.
And it
which
was.
may or may not have, done.
Yes, it may. It not may or not. It may did.
I'll stand by May.
I think it was just a high octane roller coaster ride all throughout. But like we said before, it wasn't overwhelming with action and seriousness. Like they did a good job balancing it out with like humor and like calmer scenes, things like that. I think, and going back to the characters, I don't know if we like kind of got into like Haley Atwell. I think she was a great addition to this.
She was amazing.
I think she was probably the best part about this entire movie.
Yes, she's the reason why I went to go see this movie. Straight up.
My bad.
I saw her in there. I saw her doing her thing in the trailer, and I thought she was great.
You guys really liked her? I
loved her.
Yeah, she was great.
And not just because she's Haley Atwell, be still my heart, but I thought she took the character and ran with it. No pun intended with with running. But she, I mean, like sort of mentioned before, like her debut scene in the airport, I thought like cemented her character like with the audience immediately. Like I thought she was like a perfect fit. She was like fun to watch. She, you know, she was like in you could tell she had so much fun. She was so into her character. She had like that little like flirty way about herself with Tom Cruise. Like it was just really fun to see the two of them kind of share the spotlight together and like have their moments. You know,
I feel she was okay. I feel she was okay. To me, Palm Clementif was the one that I wanted more of. Like I wanted her to be more in the movie.
Agreed.
She was so like what she did in that movie, without spoilers, is just, it should have been times 10, because that's how.
So her problem as a character was just that she had no dialogue, barely any dialogue. She didn't.
That's
speak,
the
like
issue. She should have had more. That's what I'm saying.
She spoke through her actions, which was great, and she kind of spoke through her wardrobe too, which was like, I don't know who thought of her costume design, but like hell, why not? But every scene she was just like, you know, kind of standing out. But that was her character. But
she was the scene stealer, and every time she showed up, that's basically what it was.
I would say almost, but Haley as a character overall, like she as an actress, I think she kind of took the spotlight in each scene she was featured in. But
I'm going to agree with both of you on that one. You're both correct.
I also want to give props to the two other actresses, even though they had somewhat smaller roles, but still played big parts in the movie. Rebecca Ferguson as returning from my understanding previous movies, Right Spade.
Yeah.
The former MI6 agent, and Vanessa Kirby as Alana. They had some emotionally charged scenes, and I thought they absolutely kill it when they were on screen. And their roles were tied in nicely to the ongoing story. So they did well done to the both of them as well.
Yeah, I think overall, there was no complaints in the casting department by any means. But yeah, so for me at least, the cast in general was the high point. The acting was a high point. I think for me, the weakness of this movie was just that I felt like, actually, you know what? No, it's hard to say if it's actually a weakness, because like in a lot of ways, this movie was just so fun that I felt like, there were comparisons I made to other movies that I felt like this movie, you might as well just watch this and like skip other ones. Like I would watch this over Fast X, and it seemed like this was very similar to Fast X. Especially with car chase scene in Italy. You got a little bit of that.
This movie was 10 times better. It was 100 times better than Fast X.
I am not shocked. But
not either.
We had that. We had what else did we have? What did we say before? I'm blanking.
Terminator.
Those Terminators, obviously Skynet with the antagonist of this movie, the bad guy of this movie. No, but the other main one that I mentioned, I forget now.
Age of Ultron.
Age of Ultron. Yes. Yeah. All right. So Skynet, but yeah, this. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Wait a minute. So the way this literally is called Entity. The way the Entity, this cybernetic bad guy was.
Don't go too far because we don't want spoilers.
No, I'm not going to say why. I'm not going to get into details, but I mean, it's literally like the first 5 minutes of the movie. Like that's the whole premise. But this should have been Ultron in Age of Ultron. The way this entity was handled in this movie, that's how Ultron should have been handled in Age of Ultron. I don't want to turn this video into like an Age of Ultron discussion, but there's no way you disagree with me on that. If you think about how this was handled and you apply it to like Age of Ultron, it would have been such a better movie for it. That's all I have to say on that.
And before we wrap up, the soundtrack with the legendary theme, I enjoyed it. They didn't overdo it. It was placed in the right spots.
I have a feeling I haven't seen every movie, but I mean, when it comes to soundtrack, you're going to hear the
yes.
Yeah.
But you've heard it a million times before. You will continue to hear it a million times afterwards.
Yeah.
Nothing has changed.
One thing I love not seeing all the previous movies and a newer fan to the franchise, and Spade told me this before we saw it, was that all the movies are standalone movies, and this you could enjoy. There were some mentions of some previous stuff.
I was just going to bring that up.
Mm-hmm. Spade, if you want to expand on it, but
it's fairly simple. Every single story, every single movie has been a standalone movie. Like you don't need to see the previous movie to understand this movie. Yes, some characters come in from previous movies, but it's kind of explained within itself in that movie that you don't need to know who exactly this is. Or they mention like, oh, this is what you did to me, and it was for something that happened in the previous movie. So you can watch Mission Impossible, any one of them, in any order you want. It's
Yeah,
just
but
that this movie itself, even this ending, is kind of standalone.
it
Yeah.
is.
Yeah, even though
I
it's
don't think
part one.
Yeah,
I was gonna say,
exactly.
I
Even though
don't.
it's
It's
part
not
one.
a. I don't think it's a spoiler that we say part one, but yeah, I feel like that was the vibe that I'm getting just from like the branding and marketing of this movie. That like you don't see like a number attached to the name of this movie. I just always felt like it's like kind of its own thing compared to the other 6
Right.
movies. And the fact that it's part one, I mean, we're gonna have part two. It's like it's its own little sub series as as it is. So, and as far as like being excited for part two, the way this movie ended, hell yeah! I mean, when part two comes out, I'm gonna be in the theater for it.
I'm 100% on board for that.
100%.
So we certainly had a lot to say about it. What do you think? Like, subscribe, comment below, do all the hickory dickory. Thanks for watching. Final credits are out. Roll credits.
Roll credits.
Roll credits.
Roll credits.
Roll them.